All right, we're going live now. So,
Perfect.
hello, everybody. Welcome to today's live session where we're going to explore essential aspects of skill development, networking, and navigating careers in our increasingly digital world. I'm Rahima Wasti, marketing executive at Landcode, and I'm thrilled to be here with our founder, Philip Cutting. Philip, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you, Rahima. It's great to be here and to discuss this important topics with our audience.
Yeah, let's dive right in. Our first point is about identifying passions. So, how can one identify their passions and why is it so important for career growth?
Oh, so sure. So identifying your passions are is all about understanding what excites you and motivates you. It's part of your DNA. It's part of your culture. Part of having defined your dreams, and part of where you are at this stage of life. So it's critical that you consider this a little bit so that you can maintain your passion even when things start to get hard, even in your work, in your business, throughout school, or with family, and even just with your entertainment, right? So to identify your passion, think about the activities and the subjects that you enjoy. And even
Yeah.
in your free time, look at what excites and motivates you. And I like to reflect on these and look at your past experiences to see what's made you feel the most engaged, the most satisfied, or even when things got rough, right? What is it that you kept going with, and where are things that you couldn't keep going with, and see what naturally drove you. One thing that I'm curious about there is that
Mm-hmm.
I know you have a huge passion for marketing, and I would love to know
Exactly.
more about your background on this and what drove you to marketing. What is it that what brought you here?
What brought me here? Yeah, basically there are things that obviously that want me to start these things, that want me to start interviewing you and market the digital stuff and everything like that. So I completely agree with these things. Finding why and why can really drive your efforts and keep you motivated. For me, my passion for marketing and communication has always been guiding force. It helps me stay creative and innovative as well. So, how can someone turn their passion into a career for you?
Okay, so to turn your passion into a career, you start by identifying your passions. And
Mhm.
it's a process of understanding what excites and motivates you. And this is a great place to start because it's going to help ensure that you are um, driving your energy and your time and your talent into a direction that's going to be life fulfilling. So when you
Exactly.
have this kind of focus, you're able to get through the hard times, right? So there's a joke, and it's a young guy comes into a new business and he's been there for like 3 months, and he says, guys, I really think I should get paid more because I'm as good as anybody here, right?
Yeah.
And the owner of the company goes, you're actually amazing, and in some ways you're better than these guys, right? But where you're lacking is you haven't gone through a storm yet. So you haven't had a chance to test your metal, right? And
Yes,
it's
definitely.
it's this passion that's going to keep you going through those hard times, that's going to help you show your metal. And to identify that, it's a bit of a process. Takes a little digging. And when you're younger, it's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of doing anything that you can just to discover yourself.
Exactly, Phil. Phil, setting your goals is something that always keep you motivated, and this is the key aspect of that. Phil, how do you recommend setting realistic and achievable goals?
Oh, sure. So follow a framework, right? So one of the frameworks I like for goals that are
Mhm.
immediately useful is the SMART framework:
All
specific,
right.
measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound.
Mhm.
And start with small, simple, attainable goals. And they don't have to be simple, right? But I like to get some velocity going, right? The brain needs some rewards. It needs some victories early on to develop the habit and to get that dopamine hit and to train yourself into doing the hard thing over the long run. So don't always don't try to go
Exactly.
cold turkey into a new habits, right? Start with the simple goals, the SMART goals, and then just keep building up on that. And success will carry velocity over time. And this approach is going to help you stay focused, stay motivated.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to help you build skills that are the framework of success. And it's just a simple approach to get you there, right? This combined with your dream board, your uh, perfect day description is going to help keep you on track. And for
All
instance,
right.
one
Mm-hmm.
of the things that one of the SMART goals that I love is for somebody when I'm working with somebody on like a coaching, right, which I don't do a lot of, but
Okay.
if I'm
All
coaching
right.
somebody and
Mm-hmm.
we're early in their career, just like I do with my sons, right? It's I look at their skills, I look at what they're interested in, and I try to have them build on the skill sets, right? So we give them a skill that they want to learn. Maybe it's robotics or programming or painting, you name it, right?
Yeah.
And then you can do this with your 5 year olds, right? I have a 4.5 year old I do this
Mm-hmm.
with. He doesn't
Yeah, I
realize
do.
that's what it
Mm-hmm.
is, but he we give the goal. It's maybe to paint a tiger,
All right.
and then
Okay.
we give the time frame, and we are measure it by saying this is what the end result should look like, right? And the closer you get to this through this process is how well you've met that goal. And little boys, I don't have any daughters, right? So I can't speak to that, but little boys love it. You give them a goal, you give them a process to get there, and they're driven, right? And I don't think as adults we're any different, right? So I like the skill description as a way to kind of measure this with yourself to start practicing these goals.
Yeah, that was such a good point. Obviously, that getting the goals and breaking them down into smaller chunks, into smaller milestones, help me track progress and stay motivated. And it works the same way for everybody, even for the kids as well. As you just mentioned, it's also important to celebrate those small wins along the way as well. And a positive mindset is definitely crucial for navigating challenges. Philip, how do you cultivate a positive mindset, especially in the face of obstacles?
Oh, sure. So we're going to run into obstacles. It's a given, right? So maintaining a positive mindset involves focusing on solutions rather than the problems. And it's all about resilience and the ability to bounce back from setbacks. Practicing mindfulness, surrounding yourself with supportive people, um, practicing um, great gratitude, right? Look, I don't talk about gratitude a lot, but
Mhm.
it's something that helps center you and bring you back to some things, even if you're not experiencing the success that you think you should be achieving, right? And
Absolutely right. Yeah.
yeah, and part of that is also looking back at your achievements and maintain that healthy, happy, positive outlook. And I don't mean like just stupidly pretending to have joy, but look back and find the good in the past experiences, celebrating the journey as you go. Right? These, if you have
Hmm.
simple goals and SMART goals as you go along, you can you recognize those time bound achievements that you made, and celebrating those helps create the whole positive attitude, the whole energy to move forward, and helps keep a mindset of growth and productivity and continuous evolution. I think as humans, we have the need to grow, to achieve. And a lot of that also goes into sharing those with those meaningful people around you.
Yeah, absolutely. You're completely right about the gratitude part, as it helps you to keep yourself in center and keep you stay positive. It's easy to get bogged down by challenges, but a positive mindset can definitely make all the difference. And work-life balance. We're going to talk about that. Work-life balance is something we all strive for. Phil, how do you manage to balance your professional and your personal life since you've got kids as well?
It's hard to do. I have an amazing wife. The it's A lot of it is about setting the boundaries, prioritizing your time for both work and family set aside.
Mhm.
It's essential to unplug and recharge, which is something that I've not traditionally been good at, but I'm working on that. And just to make sure that you schedule downtime and you stick to it, having the ability to delegate tasks, saying no when necessary to help balance your life, it's all
Exactly.
critical. And so it's taken me a
Exactly.
long time to work on my work-life balance because I tend to really love what I do. But I have a wife
You
that's,
do.
reminding me if I want to stay married, I got to work on that and to be
Yeah.
mindful of it.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. That was a real good reminder. We all try to disconnect from our work during the weekends and spend quality time with our family and friends. That's something we all need to do to stay refreshed. Networking and building strong relationships are vital in any career. What advice do you have for building a strong professional network?
Oh, this is one of the best things you can do. So building strong relationships starts with genuine connections. And you do this, start by meeting people in person, attend industry events, participate in online
Mhm.
forums, reach out to people whose work you admire. Uh, Networking isn't just about getting business cards or gaining prestige. It's about how you can present yourself, how you can share what you offer to those around you, and to appreciate and have gratitude of those that are also sharing their talents with you. And you can create some amazing relations, some amazing partnerships through this. And I found that in my life, this is one of the things that has really driven me to be more successful than I could would have been otherwise. Is not just that I'm doing things for my family, but there's a community and a network of professionals and friends that I have, and we're relying on each other. Sometimes just for spiritual support, or sometimes just to motivate each other and to push each other on, and sometimes to share knowledge or just a good comment or just a hey, get at it, buddy, right? This is the purpose of a good network and a genuine connections with people. It's slow, it takes time, right? But it's water it. It's like having a garden.
Solid, solid. I've found that myself, that proactive networking about it. You need to be like more proactive in networking online and offline in every single way. This can open so many opportunities for you. And it's just not about making contacts, but building a meaningful relationship, a meaningful connection with the other one. Facing challenges is something that we all face, we all do, is a part of our career journey. How can embracing challenges lead to growth?
Sure. So it all depends on your mindset, right? For me, challenges and failures are just opportunities disguised as something else. They push you out of your comfort zone. They help you develop new school skills and new relationships. So embracing challenges with a growth mindset means that you are not hiding from failure, but you're seeking failure as learning experiences, and you're being open to continuous feedback and continuous self-improvement and continuous refinement. Part of the success of doing this well means that you start with smaller objectives that you can track and measure to see if you're on track, right? So it's a easy to get over setback or challenges that took you a week to get there versus a setback and a challenge that took you 2 years to get there. And I'm just going to give some examples that we all experience in our lives, especially developers.
Definitely.
There's been times when I sat down for like a year and worked really hard
Hmm.
on a program, on a project, before
Okay.
I really got it out there enough to say, hey, is this in demand? Am I meeting the right target? Right. And while I came out
Mhm.
with a product that was perhaps ahead of what was in the industry or was available, it was missing key points that if I had done it in
Okay.
smaller chunks, I in less time, I would have hit a more powerful result. Right. But I wanted to have this big bang out there, right? I wanted to really overdo things. And I've been blessed where
Yeah.
most of the time it was okay, but it doesn't often happen like that, right? A lot of the times, if you set the goal too big, and when you fail
Mhm.
from that, right, it can be painful and hard to come back from. So keep this open mindset of, hey, failure is okay, right? And really take that to heart.
Exactly.
Part of taking that to heart means you're setting smaller goals and you're open to being wrong early and you're learning from that. It's a process. It's hard to learn if you haven't done it before. And if you find yourself like me and many others that want to set those big goals, go out there and make that big splash, find somebody who's good at the continuous evolution of process or agile thinking and learn from them.
You're definitely right about that. Facing challenges is definitely something that teaches you something really valuable all along the way. It's about learning and basically evolving. And about celebrating small wins is something we often overlook. Why is it important?
Oh, sure. Celebrating small wins boosts your motivation and morale. It helps reset the stress and anxiety of working on larger projects. It helps you recognize progress no matter how small, right? So, this practice keeps you energized, it keeps you focused at the larger skills. And it's essential
Mhm.
to acknowledge and reward yourself along the way so that you're getting those little dopamine hits and you're not getting too much into your head as many of us can do, right? You're getting out there, you're celebrating the little ones, and you're not just blown by milestones, you're appreciating them. Because if you get in the habit of uh, failing to recognize achievements, you're going to miss out on some of the wins and some of the celebrations and the gratitude that's okay. So to say another nice way is almost every big achievement and many small
Mhm.
achievements doesn't come just by you. There's a team involved, especially for me,
Exactly.
right? So almost everything I do,
Yeah,
there's a
you're big
team. And
on
if I
that,
blew by yeah, right. Because I love you guys, right? You're amazing people, and you're part of
Sure,
what
you're
drives me. So taking some small achievements and celebrating it helps people feel also recognized, and it's also a way that you can maintain gratitude and maintain uh, a gracious kind of attitude and view perspective that it's not all about you. Winning and failing is a team sport most of the time. So it's just hard to do when you're young, but celebrate those small wins. As we get older, for some of us it gets easier, for some of us maybe it gets harder, right? And if you find it hard to do at my age, right, look back and say, what are some things that I can appreciate? Where can I look back in the past 3 months and found something achievements that I just overlooked and blew by, and that self inspection helps us grow a lot. So if you find yourself in that rut, try that. Let me know if it works.
Yeah, you're totally right about that, and it does work. Celebrating the minor achievement, the smallest one, it helps to maintain a positive mindset and keeps you moving forward. It keeps us motivated. Practicing gratitude can have a significant impact on our well-being as well. How does gratitude play a role in your daily life?
Oh yeah, so I talk about gratitude a lot um, with you guys, even in my family. In the show, I've already talked about it. But gratitude shifts your focus away from what you lack and what you don't
Mhm.
have. It helps numb down the pain of failure, and it enhances your perspective and helps you appreciate the positives in your life. And making it a point to express gratitude daily or twice a day, right? Whether through a
Yeah.
journal, by thinking it aloud, or just by mentioning it to those around you, or through prayer, is a powerful way to keep yourself energized and spiritually connected with other people and to have more fun.
You're definitely right about that, and I do the same thing as well. It helps you to stay grounded and positive even during tough times as well. And a comfortable work environment can boost productivity too. What tips do you have for creating a productive workspace?
Okay, so a productive workspace, in my mind, should be organized, comfortable, free from distractions, and free from unnecessary clutter. Personalize your
Mhm.
space make it inviting, and ensure that you have all the tools that you need at your fingertips. Um, Good lighting, right? Ergonomic furniture. The look at
Yeah,
the environment that you have and say, okay, what in here is getting in my way? What's kind of draining my energy? What brings me positivity? And see what gives you good feelings, right? Also, look at your natural design aesthetic, right? Are you a minimalist? Do you kind of like having less things on your desk? Maybe you would be happier with just a keyboard, a computer, a mug,
exactly.
right? Or maybe you need to have pictures of your kids and a calendar, right? But look at your natural design aesthetic, especially us developers and designers out there, and make sure that whatever it is in that environment, it brings you energy. And sometimes it's not bad to have little reminders that, hey, I'm thankful for, right? Uh, there was
Mhm.
a time when I had a mug, coffee mug, that was I'm grateful for, and it made me think, right? I think on the back it said my wife or something, right? But there's that front message that's important. So also I like to incorporate in my environments some kind of humor, right? So a poster of something fun. I have three boys, so there's always humor in my life, but not everybody has that. So see what it takes to bring those good vibes and change things up once in a while, right? Maybe take that favorite mug and replace it with a bobbing head thing and see if you like it more for a day.
Yeah, you're right about that. About the clutter-free desk is one thing that is simple, that it has significantly improved my focus and efficiencies. Exactly, and it's all about creating a space where you can thrive. Finally, staying curious and continuously learning is essential in today's fast-paced world. How do you keep your curiosity that much alive?
Oh, so good question. So staying curious involves being open to new experiences and continuously seeking skills, knowledge, experiences, feedback. I make it a point to regularly attend different kinds of workshops, to engage in discussions with experts in different fields. Um, I'm always looking for new perspectives. I always try to be the guy that talks the least, that listens the most, and tries to put myself in somebody else's shoes to see why they're experiencing this. What is different about this person that I don't see, right? What if it's like, how could I see this person as their spouse does or as a sibling does, right? And sometimes this is harder to do than other times, right? Especially with people we may or may not like.
Yeah, obviously,
But
very easy.
yeah, yeah, and that's just part of it. Like people in the networking is a big part of it, but also trying to see where I am lacking, right? What I can do to get better, and who I can bring into my life that kind of fills those gaps, and try to keep that in a healthy way and maintain people with the same kind of culture and moral values and compass that I have. And while I'm not so much tied to like the specific culture, like Eastern, an American kind of culture, right? I love seeing all kinds of different cultures. But by culture, I mean is people that value freedom, that have a love for life, that are looking to be challenged and grow, right? These kind of cultures that bring and energize me. These are the kind of experiences and people that I'm looking to meet and to somehow see what's beautiful in their life and see if there's how I can be a part of that, or just how I can acknowledge that kind of beauty. And to be around greatness sometimes is also a fun thing, even if there's nothing I can bring to the relationship. It's sometimes hard for entrepreneurs to just kind of stay in the moment and say, wow, this person is great, right?
Yeah.
I can't maybe even offer them anything, but I can have just a conversation with them and appreciate
Mhm.
the beauty that they bring to the world.
Absolutely correct. I completely agree to that. And lifelong learning is key to staying relevant and innovative. As we wrap up, I'd like to open it up to the audience, and we want to have some questions from you. And what are the most in-demand digital skills in today's job market? one is asking from you.
The most in-demand skills in today's market. That's such a good question. The market right now is very interesting. I think today we have to have a base skill, right? And it could be anything. So let's call it um, uh, programming in Flutter, right? Dart programming with Flutter, cross-platform development. The You have that base skill, but then there's some really important skills that are going to help set you apart. And I think some of those are learning to use AI, learning how to do copy. What's the basics of copy, writing good copy, of design, right? One of the books I love that I recommend, there's two. There's Laws of UX for design, and for if you're not even a designer, right? Laws of UX, and the what's that other book? How can I forget it? Um, Don't Make Me Think. Don't Make Me Think. Right? Those are two really good books. If you're a non-designer
Okay.
looking to enhance your skills in that field, and I give that example because for programmers, the guy that left that comment, let me know what his core skill is. If you can leave me what your core skill is, it would be fun to talk about that a little bit more in there, and hopefully we circle back to that and you hear the question.
Great. So the next one is, how can I effectively communicate and collaborate with colleagues in a virtual environment?
Oh, that's a good question. So I'm assuming you already have your colleagues and you're stuck with them. There's some natural things to creating relationships that are very important. And this is going to be one of the biggest things. Creating some rapport with your colleagues probably means that you get to know them a little bit, get to know what's important to them, get to know about their families, get to know where they're from. Be open-minded. Now we have this ability to work from anywhere, and you may have made a lot of assumptions about the people that you're working with, and none of them may be right. So get to know them, get to know their favorite food, right? And even if you can't break bread with them physically, go out and try each other's favorite foods, get it delivered to your house if you can, and get on a Zoom call and just have some tea or a beer together virtually. Try each other's favorite food. Have fun with it, right? I love doing this with my Pakistani and Indian friends, right? Biryani.
Yeah,
We will order biryani. We'll have some tea, or I'll have a beer, and we just kind of joke about it. And sometimes one day I'll get something so spicy my face turns red, and it makes everybody laugh. And it's funny, right? I'm a white guy, right? So I get something really spicy, right?
Yeah,
And it's trying other things, right? And it goes both ways, right? All my friends love doing this, right? And my partners and stuff, to get some foods, experiment with each other, have some fun, talk business, talk not business, right? Can't be all business. There should be, like, on these kind of calls, not more than 10 or 20% business discussion. It's hard to avoid it, right? Because, if these are work colleagues,
when you're working together,
it helps to, yeah. It helps to have that common basis to go back to, right? And to, hey, this came to mind. Cool. Keep it all brainstorming and fun, but try to keep the rest, just get to know each other and have some fun. I think that's the best thing you can do. Also, to really value their feedback and be open to it, right? It's like when you get a coach or a mentor, you should experiment with what they say, do it the way they said it, and try and see what happens, right? And do it with an open mind. You may learn from your colleagues, and there's not a whole lot of things other than breaking bread together that's more beneficial and creating a positive relationship, other than teaching somebody something and having somebody teach you something.
Great.
So hopefully those are some good pointers.
Yeah, there were so many good points in there. We're definitely going to note that down. And how can I keep you up with a rapidly changing? How can one keep up with rapidly changing technology and industry trends?
So keeping up with rapidly changing technology, and what was the last part? And events?
And industry trends.
Oh, and industry trends. Good question.
Mhm.
So keeping up with technology, there's some platforms that I like: Udemy, Coursera. There's a few other really good kind of platforms out there for education for skills. YouTube is also a great way to keep up with skills and news and stuff. The the one other thing that's really good to do is to teach. So one of the best ways to keep up your skills is to teach something about what you know and stuff that you're learning. So share that wisdom with other people. It's going to help you become like a thought leader in your field, especially if your job is very skill oriented. Right now, if your skill is more personal related, sales, and like connections with people, then there's a little slightly different process. You still want to make sure that you're maintaining your skills and learning around what you're selling about, but you also want to make sure that you're doing networking, that you are building your soft skills. Maybe you're part of a book club, right? There's always things that you
Yeah.
can teach people, even if you're in the
Yeah.
more soft skills. So that's, I think, hopefully that answers that part. The second part is how to keep up with friends. As we grow,
How to keep up with
we lose.
industry trends. Yeah.
Oh, industry trends.
Industry
Okay,
trends.
thank you, dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're doing this and you're teaching, you'll keep up with industry trends, with the what's going on in the world. Attend conferences, right? This is probably the best thing you do. It helps you not just meet new people, but to get connected with the influencers in those fields and start to talk about those, start to share those, interview people, right? Doing interviews is a great way to keep up with your skills, to meet potential employers or potential partners, right? At my level, I like to talk about people's projects because we get to see if we're a good match for each other. I can share things that I know on how to be more successful. And if we have good chemistry, we can work together, right? And if it's not the right time for us, it's great. I've maybe learned something from them. They learned something from me. And just continuing
Exactly.
to build your network and having fun. And I think most important is to have fun. Look back and say, hey, last year I was
Exactly.
here and now I'm like way up here. You'd be surprised how quickly in 3 months, 6 months, a year without even realizing it. But you don't realize it until you look back. And if you've made your SMART goals, then look back at how those goals have progressed, keep that journal and have fun with that. You'll be really impressed with yourself once you start making those goals.
Great. And what are some strategies for building a strong professional network online?
I think writing and interviewing, podcasting, stuff like that, that's one of the best ways.
Okay.
If you're not so outgoing, right, not so brave, don't have the time to do that, forums are a great way to communicate. Every professional skill has communities out there that you can join, become part of, help other people, right? I think there's a lot to be
Yeah.
said about giving back to the community or even asking good questions and being coachable. So it's all about where you are in your journey, and all of us, even the guy just beginning programming, that's learned how to program and got through school or has learned how to create some projects. He has probably a lot more to leaves. So get out there and share that, and look to see where you can help. We find so in life, there's almost nothing more gratifying than helping other people.
Great. And as we wrap up, I'd like to emphasize the personal and professional growth is a continuous journey. Embrace your passion, set meaningful goals, and don't shy away from the challenges. Thank you so much, Philip, for sharing your expertise with us today. And thank you to our audience for joining us. If you found this session valuable, please like and subscribe to our social channels, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook for more insightful sessions from Blind for Dev. Until next time, stay safe and secure. Thank you so much, Philip.
Thank you, Rahima. I want to say, if you want to grow your professional network and find more joy in life, like and subscribe to these channels, ask questions. You'll have a lot of fun. And it's been a real pleasure talking, going over these topics. And remember, growth is a journey, not a destination. So stay curious, stay positive, be brave, and keep striving for excellence.
Great. Thank you so much, Phil. Goodbye. Take care.
Bye-bye.